Hi, it's Vex, and today, yes, we're going there. We're talking about this one, Korvold, the Fae-Cursed King. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most powerful commanders out there, the best JUND commander, as I said in my title. And, it bounces between number 1 and 2. It used to be number 2 when Golos was number 1, but Golos is now banned. Korvold, the Fae-Cursed King. Let's actually read Korvold real quick, if you don't know. 2 black, red, green. Legendary creature, Dragon Noble. So it's like a Dragon King. Fae-Cursed, of course. Flying, whenever Korvold Fae-Cursed King enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Wow, okay, so let's just read that part right there. That part sucks, right? ETB, sack another permanent. You're like, what the hell? Who wants to play Korvold? But Korvold is a 4/4. This is an important part right here. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and draw a card. So it just gives you back a card. So sacking a permanent is not that bad. Korvold ETBs, sacrifice a permanent, you sack a permanent, draw a card, and put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold. Before I go on, I'm going to tell you, warning, this is a powerful deck, right? Korvold is not a deck that isn't powerful. And when let's say you're playing against somebody and I'm your opponent, I just present Korvold, you're like, oh, dang Korvold. But when you're playing Korvold, you're like, ha, Korvold, gotcha. But, if you're going to play Korvold, have that rule 0 conversation, say, hey, I'm playing Korvold, it's a powerful deck, yada, yada, yada. Make sure, the whole play group understands that, hey, we're playing a powerful game, which is fine. It's fine to have Korvold. And for all the people who play Korvold but hate playing against Korvold, deal with it. Because if you play Korvold, you better be able to play against Korvold. Anyways, so our Korvold deck today centers around a mechanic that everybody loves called Treasure. That's right. We love treasures, and guess what treasures do? They sacrifice themselves. And guess what Korvold does when you sacrifice things? You draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold. Yes, commander damage for Korvold is very relevant. So definitely keep that in mind because Korvold grows out of control. You might be able to, play Korvold, grow Korvold in one turn. Next turn attack for 10, and next turn attack for 11. So commander damage is on the table with Korvold. With our treasure theme here, don't forget to have your tokens. Right here, I have a bunch of tokens. I have a bunch of extra treasure tokens just for fun, just for this show. The reason I went with the treasure theme is because treasures are so easy to sacrifice. They're printing more and more treasure cards every set, and it just makes Korvold even more powerful. That's right, that's what you want. More power. Power. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go through the deck. Let's toss out some cool cards here. Let's go start right here. We have some cool treasure cards, treasure-related cards like Zorn. A new card, see, again, I tell you, they keep printing new cards that work with treasures really well. Tuna Red. If you were to create one more treasure tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. Wow. So imagine you have Korvold out. You make 1 treasure. Instead, you make 2 treasures. You immediately sack those 2 treasures. You get 2 mana, 2 +1/+1 counters on Korvold. You draw 2 cards. Win-win everywhere. So that is why treasures are so powerful. But you all knew that. Zorn is super powerful, and I love this next card here. It's actually one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizons. It actually is my favorite card from Modern Horizons 2, Academy Manufactor. If you were to create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. So if clues allow you to sack themselves, food allows them to sack themselves, you got to pay 2 to sack, but whatever. But you get to make 3 tokens for Korvold to eat. Amazing. Of course, what are we without the Treasure King, Dockside Distortionist, right here. Dockside Distortionist ETBs makes a treasure for every enchantment artifact your opponents control. It is insane good ramp, and with Korvold, you don't even want to know what happens when you have a Dockside and Korvold and play at the same time. Insanity happens. You have your new cool card here, Tireless Provisioner. It has landfall, make a treasure or a food. Usually you want to make the treasure because treasures are much easier to sacrifice than food tokens because you don't have to pay any cost. Gadrick here, the Crown Scourge. More treasure stuff. When it is flying, can't attack unless you control 4 more artifacts, which is super easy with this deck, obviously, because of treasures. And at the beginning of end step, create a treasure token for each non-creature that died this turn. So it's easy to kill your creatures because you have a commander that sacrifices things. So Gadrick is super cool. You do have other sack outlets in the deck that will help you make treasures or, synergize with Korvold. Actually, let's put Korvold right here so I can point to Korvold now and again. Pitiless Plunderer. This is insane. I used to sell these for bulk, but now this is like probably worth more than most rares in the Rivals of Ixalan set. It's probably like $11. Crazy. It's insane. Get this. Hopefully they'll reprint it soon, but 3 in a black. This is insane. This goes in almost all the treasure decks. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token. So essentially the gadget only creates 1 per turn at end of turn. Pitiless Plunderer always creates 1 when instant they die. You have another new card from Kaldheim, more treasure synergies. Goldspan Dragon, you know. The important part is treasures you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact. 2 mana of any color. So your treasure production, mana production doubles with Goldspan Dragon. And Goldspan Dragon, when it attacks or becomes a target spell, make a treasure. So super good here. It has haste, so you can just play it, attack with it, and make a treasure. And I love this new card from Adventures of the Forgotten Realm, Old Gnawbone. It does cost 7, but remember, this deck's all about making treasures. Like the 7 mana value isn't even that much. It is, it's probably castable on turn 5 or something. The cool part is, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create the main treasures. So very synergistic. Of course, what are we doing with treasure without a treasure map? Of course, we have treasure map. ETB makes 3. I mean, it doesn't ET. Sorry, it comes into play once you have 3 counters on treasure map. You activate it 3 times. It makes 3 treasures, and then the treasure map helps you find the treasure cove. And look, it lets you sacrifice a treasure, draw a card. So this in Korvold, you get to sacrifice a treasure, draw 2 cards. Then we have the treasure win condition, Revel in Riches. Whenever a creature your opponent control dies. So remember, this is whenever a creature you control for Pitiless Plunderer, this is your opponent's control. So there's a difference. Make a treasure, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. But we're just here just to make treasures. We don't really care about winning the game because our commander will win the game for us. And another new card. This is a very expensive common. Do not put this in bulk. Deadly Dispute. 1 in a black. When I say expensive, I mean like $1.50. But for a common in a recent set, that's insane. Anyways, this card does double duty in this deck. Additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or a creature. It does sack, and it does draw 2 cards, create a treasure. So it gives you another treasure to sack. And speaking about sack outlets, so these are treasure plus sack outlets. These are like the trifecta? No, dualfecta, doublefecta. I don't know what doublefecta means, but Deadly Dispute lets you sack and make treasures. Ruthless Knave from Ixalan also lets you sack a creature, create 2 treasures, and lets you sack 3 treasures, draw a card. But of course, you sack a treasure, draw a card for Korvold. All right, these are our sack outlets. Of course, we want to be sacking a lot of things because our commander rewards us for doing that. So let's check our sack outlets. Viscera Seer, sack a creature, scry. Road Strider comes with a creature, lets you sacrifice another creature, scry. And our secondary commander, Prosh, Sky Rare Occur. So this used to be the JUND commander of choice before Korvold came in. Ever since Korvold was printed, JUND commanders, there is no other option. Korvold's the best. But Prosh comes in with a bunch of creatures, kobolds, and has a sack outlet, which is really good. So it actually synergizes with this deck super, super well. Yawgmoth is a pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, -1/-1 counter, up to 1 target creature, draw a card. So this is important. And also has protection from humans, so good sack outlet there too. Astronaut's Altar, just a generic sack outlet, get some mana, do some more shenanigans. And we have some token makers here, Chatterfane. And if you haven't, it's Modern Horizons, and I have a Chatterfane deck, which is really cool. But this is 2 in a green. Finally, a legendary Squirrel Warrior. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel tokens are created instead. So you make 10 treasures, you make 10 treasures and 10 squirrels. And the cool part is you pay a black, sacrifice X squirrels. So this is a token generator and a sack outlet. So this really works good with the deck. I guess the trifecta is token generator, sack outlet, and treasure maker. Well, I guess it's dualfecta. Anyways, moving on. Play Crafter, 1-time sack outlet, sack itself. So it's pretty good. Now we have our sacrifice benefit cards. Cards that benefit from things being sacrificed. Mayhem Devil. Insane. This card is so good in this deck. You probably want to tutor him out. This or Academy Manufactor is insanely good. Mayhem Devil is 1 black red. It's a devil, of course. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, you or your opponent, so if your opponent does a fetch land, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. So just remember that. If your opponent cracks a fetch land, cracks a treasure, bam, 1 damage to anything. This is a must kill next to Korvold right here. We have another one here, Mazarik, Cruel Death Priest. I probably said it wrong. 3 black green, flying whenever a player sacrifices another permanent. So same thing here. Put +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So it just makes things bigger. You do have token generators like Chatterfang, Prosh, but there's other token generators. We have another token all-star or treasure all-star, Marionette Master. 4 black, fabricate 3. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, or create 3 servos, which I advise you put the +1/+1 counters on Marionette Master. Whenever an artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. So, when you stack a treasure, if you have 3 +1/+1 counters, you lose 4 life. Marionette Master goes crazy. If you have this on the battlefield, you start sacking things, it just does damage, insane amount of damage. Right there, we have Dictate of Erebos. Whenever you sack a creature, or whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent sacks a creature. Very good. You do have sack outlets, like imagine Chatterfang with Dictate of Erebos. You got Ashnod's Altar, sack outlets. Prosh, sack outlet. You're making tokens, you can sack them. This keeps the board clean, helps you win. Yes, this is a mean card. It probably is a little salty, but we are playing a powerful commander. Have that rule 0 conversation again. Another benefit of sacking creatures, Zulpul Cutthroat. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, drain 1. Then we have the Innocent Reassembling Skeleton. 1 in black, 1/1, Skeleton Warrior, that's it, right? And then you pay 1 in black, return Reassembling Skeleton from your graveyard to the battlefield. So there are shenanigans with this, and treasures and death triggers. You could figure it out. I'm not going to tell you all the crazy combos, but again, this death trigger, sack outlet, treasure maker does some crazy shenanigans. There is, of course, there's an infinite combo in here if you assemble like 4 different cards. Actually, I'd like to challenge the viewers. Find the infinite combo within here, or plus these cards, and list them in the comments below. That'd be super fun. With Reassembling Skeleton, we have Teamer Sabertooth right here. Could be part of an infinite combo, who knows? It's 2 green cat. You may return another creature you control to owner's hand. If you do, Teamer Sabertooth gains indestructible, which is a cool benefit, but you just want to bounce a creature. Maybe bounce creatures and make other creatures, like Prosh. Bounce creatures, save your other creatures, like Mayhem Devil. Bounce creatures like Dockside Extortionist, make more treasures. Who knows? It's fun. We have another token generator, Tireless Tracker. Of course, ETB Investigate makes a clue. Clues are still good with Korvold. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. Even though clues are not as good, treasure is better with Korvold, like Tireless Provisioner here, otherwise known as Tireless Snacker. Tireless Tracker is still good. The Avenger Zenith card just makes tons of raw creatures to be sacrificed. Right there. So those are seek creatures, sack benefits, high synergy with Korvold treasures. So we'll just put that aside here. Get our next set of cards. We have our generic JUND powerful cards. We have our tutors, Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor. This does double duty right here. Diabolic Intent right there. And you know what? Since we're playing powerful cards and Korvold's known as a powerful commander, we're just going to add powerful tutors in here, like Worldly Tutor, which I don't usually include, but I'm including because I want to get my Academy Manufacturer, Dockside Extortionist, Mayhem Devil, etc. Same for with Eldritch Evolution right here. And the cool part, I forgot to mention, Diabolic Intent sacks a creature, which is very good with your commander. Might be better than Demonic Tutor. Eldritch Evolution sacks a creature, which is super cool. Finale of Devastation, a good win con right there. Court of Calling, instant speed creature retrieval. Then you have your removal. We are a little light on removal. We're hoping Mayhem Devil, Dictator Erebos carries us. We do have our Assassin's Trophy. A very good Golgari removal. Player removal, I call Torment of Hailfire. Oops, I'm like dropping my stuff. Torment of Hailfire. Beast Within, just a good catch-all. It's either this or Chaos Warp. I think Beast Within is a little better because Chaos Warp is a little risky. Toxic Deluge right here, just in case. Blasphemous Act, just in case again. And then you have some protection spells for Korvold, Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots. Of course, you want to protect Korvold. you're playing a powerful deck. Jessica's Will, right here. Jessica's Will helps you get your mana, play more cards. It's just a generically good card. I mean, it's just in there because it's just generically good. Eternal Witness, you know, ETB, get things back, like your Mayhem Devil, Italian Academy manufacturer. Remnant Ruins. So in this deck, we're playing a lot of fetch lands, and we do want to get those fetch lands back to sacrifice over and over again. Remnant Excavator is really good. We do have some landfall synergies with like Avenger Zendikar, Tyler Snacker, Tyler's Tracker, etc. Valgate Recovery, it's just generically good. I always include this in every green deck because just getting stuff back from your graveyard is good, but just having that extra land just in case you need it is good. Agadeem's Awakening, you're sacking a lot of creatures, sometimes you need them back. It's really good. Plus, it acts as a land. All right, and then you have our ramp spells here. Let's clean this outer area real quick here. And our ramp spell is a little different than our traditional green ramp spells because they're mostly creatures because we want to sacrifice creatures. So instead of the Kodama's Reaches, Farseek's, Nature's Lore, stuff like that, I include more creature-based ramp to synergize more with Korvold. So we have Birds of Paradise right here. We have our Deathrite Shaman right here. And then we remember, if our playgroup doesn't play a lot of fetch lands, but we are playing enough fetch lands to make Deathrite Shaman into a ramp spell. I love Elves of Deep Shadow right there. Ignoble Hierarch. We finally can play our JUND Noble Hierarch as an Ignoble Hierarch. Secure Tribauer. Also synergizes with Korvold because it has a sack trigger on there. Farhaven Elf, Wood Elf. So we get our lands, and then we have extra creature left over to sacrifice. Spling Boom Druid. You could sacrifice a land, get 2 lands. Super cool. Usually green decks, I don't play Solemn Simulacrum, but Solemn Simulacrum is here because it can be sacrificed. We do have our traditional Soul Ring, of course. Then we have our, sacrifice ramp, Harrow, additional cost to cast, sack a land, get 2 lands, and then Rolling Regrowth, essentially the same thing. Sack a land, get 2 lands. So more creature-based ramp right here, more sack-based ramp, and of course, our very, very good friend, Soul Ring, right there. All right, let's to the land package. And usually I used to go quickly through the land package, but here we're actually going to slow down a little bit. And we're starting with our fetch lands. We're playing fetch lands as sacrifice. Remember, sacrifice is a very important keyword. And a lot of things do it. We have Evolving Wilds here. Terramorphic Expanse. So just the ETB tapped, sack, fetch, basic, they come and play tapped. Very good. Still good in this deck. Fabled Passage. Upgraded Terramorphic Expanse while Evolving Wilds. Prismatic Vista is the one that always comes into play untapped, but you have to pay 1 life. So here, usually I play fetch lands that match the color of my commander. So in Korvold, I would only play 3. I mean, usually JUND, like my Prosh deck, I play 3 fetch lands. Here, I'm playing 9 fetch lands. Everything but Flooded Strand, the blue-white one. Essentially, anything that's black, red, or green, fetch land I'm playing, it's all 9. So Marsh Flats, Scalding Tarn, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, Wooded Foothills, Windspath Heath, Misty Rainforest. It just helps us do more sacrificing. Again, usually I don't play that many fetch lands, but in this case we're playing Korvold, more fetch lands. And of course, playing Strip Mine, it sacks itself and destroys a land. Wasteland sacks itself, destroys non-basic land. And Treasure Vault. Treasure Vault's cool because it does double sacking. It is an artifact land, so it can be destroyed by artifact destruction. Have this little Dungeons and Dragon module card. I just want to show it off. And you tap XX, tap it, sacrifice Treasure Vault, create X treasure tokens. So it's like, again, double sack. You pay 10 mana, you sack Treasure Vault. That's 1 sack trigger. And then you have five treasures to sack for Korvold. So there we go. We have Phyrexian Tower, a card that sacrifices creatures, add mana. Even Nurturing Peatland right here, sacrifice Nurturing Peatland, draw a card, has the word sacrifice on it. It's super good. Right there. So like look at all these sacrifice synergies right there. That's why I'm playing a higher amount of land. I think I have 40 land in this deck because I'm thinning out really hard here. And a lot of it just synergizes with the commander so well. So here's the rest of the mana base that actually produces mana. Minus some of these cards, they produce mana too. You get your good old command tower, your shock lands. And I'm playing these basic land type lands to be fetched out with our fetch lands right here. Cinder Glade, Smoldering Marsh, and Woodland Chasm. There is no cool upgraded and like enemy lands. Hopefully they come out with them one day. Let's put this in its pile here. Then your Bojuka Bog, utility lands. Play this in every black deck, and you'll never be sad. Yavimaya. So just Yavimaya allows you to turn, if you fetch out every land out of your deck, Yavimaya allows you to turn these lands into like mana-producing lands. I did not include Orborg because I didn't have room, because I actually wanted basic lands to fetch out. So I have Yavimaya because we just we're playing more green, but we do have our forest, mountain, swamps right here to fetch out. Anyway, so this is the deck here. It's super powerful, super fun. It is grindy, but there is an explosiveness with Korvold. You get Swiftfoot Boots on Korvold. You attack once, maybe deal 8 damage to your second lot of treasures, then go untap and deal that 13 damage and kill somebody. So remember, Korvold is sometimes grindy, but sometimes very explosive. All right, so I'm gonna shuffle this fun deck up. Fun for me, right? Fun deck up, and then we'll do some gold fishing. But before we go gold fishing, I want to remind you, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos when they come up. I have the deck list and TCG player affiliate link in the description below. So I'm going to shuffle this deck up, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back with our commander Korvold, the Fae-Cursed King. Turn to a dragon. I don't know what I don't know the story, but somebody tell me the story. Something happened to Korvold. Korvold and Kenrith must have fought or something. Who knows? Anyways, check our opening hand out. Okay, we got the Ignoble Hierarch, turn 1 ramp. We do have a tap land, but we do have a forest. So lots of ramp, a tutor, a sack outlet. So no treasure synergies yet, but it's okay. We got some sack fodder. Some Simulacrum can be sacked to Korvold. Yawgmoth's a sack outlet. So we have Worldly Tutor, figure out anything we need as the game progresses. All right, turn 1, let's go. Springbloom Druid, that's pretty good. Good ramp. Actually, with Ignoble Hierarch, we might be able to cast Korvold on turn 3. We're not sure if we need Korvold on turn 3, but we'll see. All right, we'll play Ignoble Hierarch as our turn 1 play. Turn 2, here, we'll draw a card. Swiftfoot Boots, that's not bad. Helps get that commander damage in quickly. I like this Springbloom Druid better than Harrow because it leaves a little body behind. It's not an instant, but it leaves the body behind, so it's good. So let's just go for maximum ramp, right? So do we go cast Springbloom Druid, or do we make sacrifices and cast Swiftfoot Boots, then Woodland Chasm? I think we just do, let's save this, right? We don't need Korvold on turn 3, and then we need 4 mana on turn 3, which these cards can do. So let's just play this tapped, We'll play this. We'll play our 2 mana spell, Swiftfoot Boots. I don't think we need to search out yet with Worldly Tutor because we want to just, see what we draw. And then next turn, turn 3, here, Command Tower. Okay, that's a sweet card. We'll play Command Tower right away. The same as a mountain, but better. Now we have 4 mana. And now we could play this and we could sacrifice it to Korvold next turn. So that's exactly what we want to do here. So we'll tap this, play our Solemn Simulacrum. We'll go searching for a basic land. Which basic land do we need? We got double green, all the colors, and then we have a mountain in our hand. So let's get a swamp. There we go. And we'll shuffle back up. I know this deck has a lot of shuffling. Just get ready for that, by the way. There's a lot of shuffling. But you can shuffle during an opponent's turn, so it's all good. Alright, we'll shuffle. We'll cut. We ramp twice. We pass the turn 4. This is gonna be the good turn right here. Oh, Academy Manufactor. That is sweet. Alright, we have another land drop with our mountain. So we'll untap everything. We'll play our mountain. So we have 5 lands. They have Worldly Tutor mana here. So we'll actually play our 5 lands. Tap all 5 lands. Here, we'll play Korvold. Korvold ETB. We'll sack Solemn Simulacrum. Put +1/+1 counter on Korvold. And draw a card. Harrow. Sweet. More Korvold synergies. Okay, so I forgot to tell you, of note, if you play Korvold trigger on the stack and they kill Korvold, you got to sack something, but you don't get to draw a card. So that is really sucky. So just remember that Like if somebody has open mana, they might kill Korvold in response to his trigger resolving. So anyways, Korvold's 5/5. You attack. Kaboom, 5 commander damage somewhere. Sweet. So next turn, turn 5. So this is where you go off the rails here, right? This is where we wish we had some treasure, but that's okay. We have Worldly Tutor. So now, do we want treasure? I think we do. I think we want some treasure. So we get Worldly Tutor here. Let's map our turn. We only have 5 lands. If we had 6 lands, it'd be sweet. Play Academy Manufacturer, or one of the Tyler's Trackers, Tyler's Snackers here, but we only have, so I think the best thing to do is just take a natural draw step. We'll just take a natural draw step. We won't Worldly Tutor, because we actually want to hit a natural land, because we have all these 3 drops in our hand here. We'll hit a natural land. This is a natural land. Don't forget that. Academe, the Undercrypt, right to here. Because what you could do is you could Worldly Tutor in response to Korvold's trigger, because you could attack a Korvold and then sacrifice something. So Worldly Tutor is still on the, or you could play Springbloom Druid and do the Worldly Tutor trick after you search your lands. Wait, no, before you search your lands. ETB, you may sacrifice a land. So ETB, you sacrifice a land if you do search your library. Okay, so you do all the, so you do this, and then you have Korvold trigger on top, and you do Worldly Tutor. See, all these triggers are crazy. Okay, so what we'll do is we will tap this. We'll play Springbloom Druid right here. We will sacrifice, let's see, Academe the Unencrypt. We'll actually sacrifice this land because we might want Academe's Awakening back with Eternal Witness and stuff. So we'll sacrifice a land. If you do search your library up to 2 basic land cards, and put them in the battlefield tapped. So let's see here. 2 basic land cards. Let's see, we need a forest, and then we'll get that swamp that we just threw away back in here, and then we'll have a Korvold trigger because we sacrificed the land. Where's that swamp? There it is. And then we sacrifice the land right there. Oh, I forgot, it was 6 damage with Korvold with Ignoble Hierarch because of the Exalted trigger. Okay. So we sack the land here. What we can do is play our Worldly Tutor, drop a cool fun card here. But I think the card we want to draw is Worldly Tutor. We want to get Old Gnawbone. That's technically, so we're going to set up Worldly Tutor for next turn. Okay, we sack the land, so Korvold gets +1/+1. We draw a card. Birds of Paradise, that's super good right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is, let's set up. So I'd rather just draw a random card. Actually, yeah. We'll play Academy Manufacturer right there. Okay, and then what we could do is, we could play Birds of Paradise because we could upkeep our Worldly Tutor right there. Okay, and then we can attack with our Korvold. Gets +1. We'll sacrifice Springbloom Druid, draw a card here. Torment of Hellfire, good killer. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So this is 7 + 8 of the Ignoble Hierarch. Turn 6 is gonna be really good, right? So turn 6, we untap everything, tap our mana dorks, our lands. Here we got Academy Manufacturer, we're ready to go. So before we draw, we're gonna tap a forest. This is now we're gonna use our Worldly Tutor. And do we have enough mana to cast Old Gnawbone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do, I believe. Yep. Okay. Worldly Tutor, right here. We're gonna get this is why we save Worldly Tutor instead of using it right away. See, we're gonna get Old Gnawbone, the Insane Treasure Producer. See, where are we here? Come on, don't say it's the next card. Old Gnawbone. It costs 7, not even 8. I thought it cost 8. That's sweet. Get Old Gnawbone right there. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. So we'll put that on top. right here. Then we'll draw Old Gnawbone right there. So it's always good to delay the decision with your tutors. We'll tap 7 mana. We'll cast Old Gnawbone right there. And then we'll just say, okay, we'll go to combat. This does not have, I mean, you can give Old Gnawbone haste with Swiftfoot Boots by tapping your last mana, Birds of Paradise. Oh, did I give Korvold haste? I think I actually forgot to tap a mana here. But anyways, let's pretend I, punted. I mean, I didn't punt, but I probably could have tapped a Noble Hierarch. Anyways, moving on. Tap Gnawbone, attack for 7. Here, trigger, right? You would trigger, you would sack something. What do we sack? I think we sack a land here. Now we sack a creature. Let's get rid of our Birds of Paradise here. So let's assume they both connect here. Oh, I forgot to draw a card for Korvold as well. Fatal Passage, that's sweet. That it sacks itself. Gives us a land. Okay, so this is where we go crazy. We go 8 and 7. Assume we connect with all the, actually just assume we connect with Korvold. We would make a food here, a clue, and a treasure. And we would make 8 of each. So we have 8 mana to work with of each. Let's get more dice. You need a lot of dice with Korvold, by the way. 8 of each. Because Old Gnawbone right here, whenever creature you control deals combat damage, create that many treasures. It kind of manufacturer just makes treasure, clues, and food. So you have 8 of each. You still have your land drop. Play your land. Crack your land. Draw a card for Korvold. Get your land into play untapped. Let's say a forest here. Just going to do this quickly. We have 9 mana to work with. We could Diabolic Intent. We could play Yawgmoth right here to go drill right through our deck. We can get Diabolic Intent for what is this? Pious Plunderer. We could just go crazy. I think we probably could find an infinite combo around here. We could Torment of Hailfire, draw a bunch of cards. We could sack a bunch of treasures, draw 8 cards. We don't even need Diabolic Intent yet. Like if we just do this, hypothetically, I don't recommend doing this, but just for the sake of the camera, I'm going to sacrifice all 8 treasures, draw 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 floating. I have 8 mana floating somewhere. Draw 8 cards. Right there I have Jessica's Will, Assassin's Trophy, Vizier Seer, so I got a sack outlet here. Diabolic Intent. I can get Ashnod's Altar, do some shenanigans. Dockside Extortionist, do some shenanigans. Pious Plunder, we'll do some more shenanigans here. Anyways, you can see how this deck works. I got tons of mana. I can gain tons of life here. Draw tons of more cards with clues. Clues draw you 2 cards each with Korvold. Korvold does get these +1/+1 tokens from all the sacrificing going on. And I forgot sacrificing the Fatal Passage gets another token here. There's a lot of stuff going on with Korvold. Korvold's super powerful. You can use the 8 mana Torment Hellfire for 6. Or you could just, use Jessica's Will to get more mana, then Torment Hellfire some more. See what else you could do. I don't know, you can do a bunch of other things in the deck. Anyways, this is how the deck functions. It's super powerful. Gets you lots of mana. The treasures go crazy. Manufacturer goes crazy. Korvold, look at Korvold. How many counters are on Korvold? That's ridiculous. Eventually, you can one-shot people with Korvold. You can do a lot of things. Anyways, if you enjoy this deck tech, give it a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to be alerted for more videos in the future. And as always, have a wonderful day.